talk about a truck that needs no introduction. You guys all know what this is. This is a TRX, baby. Today we're talking about it and its kind of place in the marketplace. So we just so happen to have this TRX in stock at the moment. It's a pre-owned one here at the Ram store. This is a 2021. I'm actually kind of partial to this one. It was the first deal I ever had agreed to when I started at this store back in 2021. So I do like this particular one. The guy traded it back in and got another truck for me, but aside from the point, I'll put the window sticker to this one right here. You can check it out if you want to. This isn't about this particular truck, it's more just the TRXs in general, but I do have to show you this one because it's a good representation of what the TRXs are. Probably gonna spend a little more time than usual inside the truck today because while 127 may not be exactly right, I do believe it is every ounce of 112. It is absolutely insane here in Arizona at the moment. So forgive me, I'll show you the outside as much as I can, but I might literally melt if I stay out there for too long. But back to the main point of the video, I just wanted to talk about, these things used to be just crazy hot. You could not keep them in stock. Where do they belong in the marketplace now? Because A, there's a few things, A, B, C, there's a few things that I believe kind of cooled this truck down quite a bit. Some of them are going to be exactly what you think, and some of them are going to be maybe a little bit of a hot take. So stay tuned and hear me out. So thing number one with these trucks, A, they're expensive, right? Not a secret. Anytime you're north of 70, 80, 90, 100 plus $1,000, it's a very limited portion of the marketplace to begin with. Combine that with this one has a quarter of a tank left and you have 33 miles of range and it gets 8.4 miles a gallon. Now, that is not exactly your everyday kind of commuter rig for the average fella, right? But we all knew that. This truck was never like the everyday driver for the guy with the regular pickup truck or the work truck or whatever, right? We all know that, but they are expensive in general. And they got more and more expensive as, yes, I can already hear you screaming, dealers were charging over MSRP, things like that. Now here's the other side of the equation, okay, that nobody ever complained about. Dealers were charging, say, 10 over MSRP. The manufacturers pretend they care, say they're not going to let you do that. And then next year they raise MSRP $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 so that they can have all the extra money. But we won't have that conversation in this video. The other kind of struggle I feel like the TRX has faced in terms of a longevity thing is, as we mentioned, it's a little bit of a limited person that can afford such a truck like this and that will realistically buy one and keep it for any length of time. That being said, it is a hell of a truck. It's super smooth, it has tons of features, off-roading's incredible, it is everything it should be, right? Absolutely. But if this is what you want to spend that kind of money on, odds are you probably bought one in the first couple of years, right? That's why it makes it so hard to continuously sell them over years and years and years. Because the people who want one and can really get one without really thinking about it probably bought one fairly early on. It's probably not their daily driver. They probably busted out on the weekends. So maybe some of those guys buy, a couple of them over the years or something like that. But really, it's not like a Bighorn 1500 where you might get that guy in to buy a new one every 2, 3, or 4 years, right? For anyone that doesn't know by now, the TRXs are full-time 4-auto. They're kind of like all-wheel drive all the time. Launch control, drive modes, the whole nine. It's literally a Hellcat shoved in a truck. It's stupid fast, and it has the craziest suspension you've ever seen. The other thing that was so incredible about the TRX is that it is such a perfectly smooth, nice daily driver. A lot of vehicles that have stupid power like this one does are almost like they're fun to drive, you know what I mean, but they're not necessarily great from a daily driver perspective, just cruising around. They're kind of touchy and things like that. Just the way this whole powertrain delivers the power, you can easily just cruise along and have a perfectly smooth, comfortable daily driver with the wife and kids, but then when you want to get that foot in the floor, baby, she's there. Truly. That was like half throttle. When you want it, she's got plenty of it. 702 horsepower in this thing, dude. It is insane. So that's thing number one. Obviously, it's very expensive. The people that want them could kind of just buy them whenever they wanted to. And the other thing, the next thing, is that when it first came out, it was such a novelty. I mean, the Raptor was there, and however you want to argue it, the TRX is much more of a truck than the Raptor is. The Raptor is great for what it is, but it is not in the same class as this. The new Raptor R, different story. Your standard Raptors do not hold a candle to this thing. So combine the novelty with it being so expensive, being that a limited amount of people can afford such a thing, and the other reality, that price point is really up there with a lot of expensive trucks that are, you know, dualies, tow rigs, and these trucks aren't really meant to tow, right? You don't necessarily have this and a tow hauler and a side-by-side. Instead, you have this, right? That's kind of your thing. So if you have much that you're towing and you don't have the ability to swing an $80,000 truck with another $60,000 tow rig and a trailer and a side-by-side, I mean, it's, come on. I also think some of the kind of cool wore off of these things once they were out there for a while. I even saw that with a lot of the people who did own them. Though, like I say, when it first came out, it was such a kind of novel from the factory kind of concept. A lot of people jumped on it, and then I think they kind of just got over it a little bit after a while. Not everybody, but some people, which is understandable. But also, like I say, there was more of them out there. They're really expensive, and now, as we know, they are discontinued, and we're gonna have the RHO instead. It might be kind of loud up here, but I gotta give you a little bit of a closer look. This thing truly is incredible. I love the textured wrap and everything, but like, this isn't even necessarily my usual style of what I like, but this one's done pretty well. The other thing I think, guys, is economy, right? In 2020, 2021, overall, a lot of people had a lot more money than they do at the moment. I'm not gonna get into any of the things you guys are gonna say in the comments. That is fine. I think we could all agree, but overall, the economy right now is much tougher than it was back then, and that's when these trucks were really flinging, and they were less expensive. The other thing that's so cool about them is you have all the features of the luxury trucks. Everything here, sound system, power adjustable seats, heads-up display, panoramic roof, digital rearview mirror, adaptive cruise control. I mean, you're not really taking a step down interior-wise to go to one of these by any stretch of the imagination. They're actually, you know, just as nice, if not nicer, and so capable. So one of the big questions with the new RHO is, can it take the TRX's place? I don't think it'll really take its place. You're not going to have that supercharged V8 sound or anything like that, but raw speed-wise, you're, you know, on paper, you're in the ballpark. Interiors are going to be pretty similar. You're going to check all the same boxes, have all the same features. You're just not going to have the Hellcat, right? Which is kind of part of why everybody liked these so much. So those are kind of the main things, guys. I think, A, the people that bought them could buy them, and they bought them, and then they just didn't really need to buy another one. B, the economy, they got more expensive as the economy got worse. C, it's just not something a ton of people can afford to begin with. So I think that's kind of what happened to them in the marketplace. Like I say, they used to be super hot. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing anything about a TRX, and now, not so much. But that's gonna pretty much do it, guys. Short video, I know. Like I say, it's 1,000 degrees out here. I'm struggling. Just thought I'd show you this truck real quick and have a little chat about what kind of happened to him in the marketplace. Drop a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.